Hey everyone, Jason here. Today I am really excited to show you the latest project I've been working on with my Mindstorms EV3 kit, which is this printing machine. As you saw in the introduction, it can print text of different sizes as well as the Mindstorms logo. Right now I have it programmed to print predefined data like this test page, but it's actually not all that useful to have to change the program every time you want it to print something different. So I do plan to expand on this project in the future and explore different ways of sending data to the Mindstorms unit to print. Right now I'm going to show you how this is all put together and explain how it works, so let's take a look. To start with, I'm just using one of these gel pens to actually write on the paper. And you can use pretty much any pen you like as long as it glides easily over the paper and can deposit ink without too much pressure. And these gel pens seem pretty ideally suited for that. And what we need to do with the pen is move it along 3 axes. We need to move it left and right and up and down along the paper, as well as lift it up off and lower it onto the paper. And if you've watched many of my videos in the past, you'll know that pretty much the go-to way of accurately moving things along a straight line in the LEGO world is to use a gear rack and a gear. Unfortunately, there are no gear racks in the Mindstorms EV3 kit, so I had to get a little bit more creative in how I was going to move the pen around. To move it up and down, I'm actually just going to move the paper instead. And to do that, I'm using 4 of these big wheels which come in the set. There are 2 wheels underneath, which are driven by this motor here, and these 2 wheels above, which are connected to this floating arm, which gravity just pulls onto the lower wheels. I also have this bar attached onto this arm, which rests on the paper just in front of the pen to keep it flat. And if I just manually drive the lower wheels, you can see that it smoothly moves the paper up and down. I also discovered that by mounting these wheels in this configuration on these bent lift arms, left just enough gap here to snugly fit a Technic beam, so that by driving the upper gear, you can move that beam side to side, just like a gear and a gear rack, but without using those parts. And I just mount the pen holder on the front of that beam, and the pen is held in place into this corner using this rubber band. And this is how the pen is moved from side to side. That entire pen holder assembly and the motor that drives it are hinged at the back of the printer and driven by this M motor through this gear in order to raise and lower the pen. The last thing to note is that I'm also using the color sensor underneath to detect when the edge of the paper passes over it. And I use that at the beginning of the program when I'm feeding the paper in, and also at the end when I'm feeding the paper out. And that is pretty much all there is to it. I've already been working on a way to send text data to it, which I'm really excited about. And I will be posting a video about that in a couple of weeks. At that time, I will also share the building instructions and the program file for this. I'm just not quite finished them yet, so stay tuned for that. As always, thanks for watching, keep on building, and I will see you next time.